All right, let's play this audio. Look, maybe you deleted your Uber app after they tried to basically scab and break the essentially the picket lines, if you will, that were set up after the immigration ban was announced at JFK. Maybe you deleted their app after you heard reports of the sexism. Maybe you never used the app or didn't have it because you didn't appreciate the way they treat their drivers because you've spoken to drivers in their car. If you still have your Uber app, if you still needed just one more reason to delete it, well, it has come in the form of a video that apparently was released. I guess the driver must have had it in his car, his dash cam that he had gone the other way. So it's interesting. The Uber driver picked up the CEO of Uber, a guy named Travis Kalanick. Kalanick. And the driver recognizes Kalanick. So at the end of the ride, as Kalanick's leaving with his, I don't know, date, say, or whatever, the driver turns to him and goes, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm one of the original drivers. And this must be in San Francisco, right? So
I believe so.
And here is how it eventually the driver starts saying, like, dude, you've made it a lot harder for me to make money. And, apparently this driver, what happens with Uber, and I don't know if this happens with other services, I imagine it does. There are people who go out, particularly in New York and San Francisco, maybe some other big cities. They will buy a fleet of cars. Maybe they'll buy one or two or three or four or 10 more, and then they'll hire drivers. And some drivers, particularly early ones, ended up doing that themselves. They bought a couple of cars to put other drivers in it so they could make more money. And I get the sense that this guy did that, and when the rates were changed, he lost some money. But here it is.
Thank you.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you. Good to see you too. I don't know if you remember me, but it's fine. The new people, the old people, 2010. Yeah.
Super legit.
Yeah, super legit, but we got 15
So we are reducing the number of black cars on the system over the next 6 months.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, you probably saw some of the email.
I said the email starts in May. It's all about the rating. But you're raising the standards and you're dropping the prices.
We're not dropping the price on black.
But in general, the whole price.
Yeah, we have to. We have competitors. Otherwise, we go out of business.
Competitors, man. You had the business model in your hands. You could have the prices you want, but you choose to buy everybody a ride.
No. You're misunderstanding. We started high end. We didn't go low end because we wanted to. We went low end because we had to, because we'd be out of business.
What, this?
Pause it. Now, this is what the guy, I think, really gets under the guy's skin, is where the driver says, oh, you can't understand what he's saying? Okay, so the driver is basically saying, like, I don't know if you remember me, I was one of the original guys in 2010. And then Kalanick says, oh, well, you probably heard, this is a black car they're in. Obviously, the guy drives in the high-end black car. He says, hey, what we're doing is we're raising the standards for what you need to be a black car driver. So there's going to be less competition for you as a driver. There's going to be fewer black cars. And the guy says, yeah, you're raising the standards, but you're also lowering the rates. And Kalanick's like, no, I'm not lowering the rates. And he goes, well, I mean, across the board you are. And he says, well, I had to do that because I got competitors. And the driver says, hey, man, you had the business model right in your hand. You could have kept it up there and just kept it going this way. And, of course, they're both right. Like, he probably could have made the money as a high-end car driving service, but he wants to do volume. And the reason why the CEO of Uber wants to do volume is because it doesn't cost him anything. He can lower the margin because he's not the one taking the hit. It's the drivers who are taking the hit. And even if he, as the CEO, takes a hit on each ride, it doesn't cost him anything to multiply the number of rides out there by 2. It costs the drivers a lot more. But for him, maybe now I'm only making $4 a ride, whereas before I was making $5 a ride, but I'm doing 3 times the number of rides. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm just.
The numbers are bigger than that.
But, all right, so continue.
What, a lift? That's a piece of cake right there.
No, it seems like a piece of cake because I've beaten them. But if I didn't do the things I did, we would have been beaten, I promise.
Pause it. He says, it's a piece of cake, man. You could have done. And the CEO says, it seems like a piece of cake because I've beaten them. Continue.
We could go higher and more expensive. You get the best.
So here's the thing. We could do Lux in San Francisco, so I have guys working on Lux, which will be 50 to 75% more expensive than
But
Black.
people are not trusting you anymore. Do you think people will buy cars anymore? Unless they buy them through the invoice. Otherwise, nobody want to buy a car. I lost $97,000 because of you. I bankrupt because of you.
Look.
Yes.
You know what?
You keep changing every day. You keep changing
Hold on a
every
second.
day.
What have I changed about Black?
Huh?
What have
you
I
changed
changed?
the whole business.
What?
You dropped the prices.
On Black?
Yes, you did.
Bullshit.
We started with $20.
Bullshit.
We started with $20.
You know what?
How much is the mile now? $275?
You know what?
What?
Some people don't like to take responsibility for
I
their
take
own shit.
responsibility.
They blame everything
But
in
why
their
you
life on
sending an
somebody
email
else.
for town car?
Good luck.
Good luck to you too, but I know you don't gonna go far.
Isn't that the quintessential Silicon Valley right there?
Yeah,
you start with a fake niceness and like, oh, look, we're all collaborating to innovate our way out of it. And then you push past the bullshit. And then he goes, you know what? You're going to blame other people for your problems. And people like to blame other people because it all is the libertarian nonsense at the end of the day.
Kalanick started off blaming Lyft. He's like, Lyft would have competed against us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, literally, that's his first impulse.
Literally starts by explaining the marketplace. And this guy's just like, oh, yeah, if Lyft can influence your behavior, maybe my employer could also influence my behavior, you scumbag.
The first half of the conversation, he has a tell that he is uncomfortable and probably lying, is that he, what's the Uber guy's name?
Kalanick.
Kalanick, yeah. He is rubbing his thumb across his iPhone. It's just like a very nervous habit. And then when he turns to being like, no, like this guy's accusing me of having lost him money. He stops doing it, and then.
Well, he's mad. He's mad. He doesn't like to be.
Well, initially he's like uncomfortable. Like this is not. He's lying.
Just another reason. Now he's, to be fair, he's since apologized. In an email to staff on Tuesday, Kalanick apologized to Kamal, this is the guy, for treating him disrespectfully. To say that I'm ashamed is an extreme understatement. My job as your leader is to lead. And that starts with behaving in a way that makes us all proud. That is not what I did, and it cannot be explained away. It's clear this video is a reflection of me, and the criticism we've received is a stark reminder that I must fundamentally change as a leader and grow up.
But this is amazing because he's 40 years old, and like just as like a business proposition, there is no question that plenty of VC people have for a long time, because this guy is also someone who ranted publicly that he's going to use private investigators to release. Yeah, he also, but I mean, I'm talking now from a mercenary perspective. That's terrible enough, but that's not something you should be publicly ranting about. He's talked about, we know everybody's hookup histories. Right. We have the data. Right. Like just the idea that now he's basically saying like, well, I should probably get some emotional training.
Says, this is the first time I've been willing to admit that I need leadership help, and I intend to get it.
Exactly.
And this, I can tell you, is so rote in terms of crisis management. You need what he's basically doing, and this is what they tell you to do in crisis management. You get out ahead of it. So you look at what the margin is, what the furthest margin is in terms of criticism of you, and you go half a click beyond it. And then there's no oxygen for them to criticize you.
I would be really like to watch role playing of him like doing like, all right, you're with a Pakistani Uber driver. He doesn't like that you've bankrupted him. And go. I'm very sorry that you're having a hard time. Lyft. You're a fucking failure. It's not my fault, you Pakistani prick.
He's not sorry. He's only sorry he got recorded.
Of course. Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Over. Subscribe.